Do we have time for another special screening after all that? We might have time for another one. Let's see if there's a quick one that I can do, although granted none of these are really quick, but... Oh, this requires you to kill another FOE. You know, to be fair, it's one that I've already beaten this playthrough, so I'll probably cut out the fight. That might fit my definition of a quick special screening. And it involves Akihiko again. Turn the robot executioners to scrap metal. Don't they know they are but players in this store? Turn the robot executioners into scrap metal. Don't they know they are but egg pawns in this story, just running on bits and bytes? EOF is, I know EOF does stand for something. It's end of something. I know FOF is Field of Phonons from, Tales of the Abyss. I would, again, Tara Platt voicing Elizabeth acting like a robot would be amazing. So I'm pretty sure this is the Drillbot version of this FOE, the one that opens doors. Well, it's also weak to Psy. I can use the same thing on it. Oh, I've gone mad with power. This is the moment. This is the moment Big Clingy goes mad with power. Well, I mean, Junpei does need more training. He does feel like he falls behind quite a bit. Junpei was really good in the original Persona Cube. That was mostly due to his exclusive Gemini skill. Why kanji specifically? Alright, he just, you know, went to the first big guy he saw. I guess Shinjiro wasn't available. Yeah, Junpei, since you forgot last time, Kanji has a bit of a thing about that. Don't imply that he likes dudes. He will beat you up. That was also pretty close to the "you saying I like dudes" gag. I'm sure I've referenced this before, but I remember one time when I was commenting on, like, I commented on a video of, like, people who... where people were playing, like, Persona 4 Arena, and they were like, a kanji main, and they were using kanji a lot and were doing really well with him, and I was like, wow, you really like using kanji, don't you? And they responded saying, "You saying we like dudes?" And I thought that was actually kind of funny. Normally I don't like Hi-Am Daisy references, but that's the one time, that's one of the few times I did like them. Oh, right, except I need Junpei. I guess I have to get rid of Chie, sorry. She did really well in those 3 fights. I suppose Koromaru's role could be swapped out for Haru. You know what? As karma for, you know, triggering Kanji's Berserk button, Junpei's getting Mara. And Kanji's getting Guillotine Blade. I don't know if Akihiko, but yeah, I've given her enough spotlight already. Well, we'll be breaking something alright, but it's gonna be Mitsuru who's doing the breaking here. Oh wow, that doesn't sound like a good time. Akihiko has now let the power of being part of a routine organized by Makoto go to his head. Now he's the coach. And yeah, I do feel like Akihiko would not be a great coach. He'd probably push everyone way too hard. Yeah, now I'm getting bad flashbacks to my, yeah. My high school sports classes where they pushed us way too hard, and also this is the only chess in the special screening. And it's like basically no yen at all. Oh, okay, so this time we're actually forced to aggro the FOE, and there's no way we can take down the spotter, so I don't think there's a way that we can get a preemptive strike on this. Still, it's way weaker than what we're used to at this point. I mean, you know, we just beat the dwarf family. Yeah, I had a feeling that he was hallucinating. Wait, hang on. Wait, is that how I know that the Chidori, as in the attack from Naruto, is written with the characters for 1,000 birds. Yeah, that's Chidori's name too. Okay, that's probably a... Like, I don't know if that's an intentional, like, lost in translation reference to Chidori, but yeah. Yeah, we've been doing a whole lot of, like, super, you know, training missions this time. Oh, it's not opening the door, huh? I thought this one opened the doors. Oh, it's just a small version. Well, yeah, that of course it's not opening the doors. Wow, this is gonna be even more of a joke than I thought. Okay, we don't have Chie's, oh, but we do have True Critical Eye on Junpei, huh? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to do the Spotlight heal strat again. Because I need Mitsuru alive so she can potentially activate double attack. But okay, Ken gets the first shot in, and here we go! Silent, come on, double attack, come on, double attack, come on, double attack! No! Oh, right, that's why Kanji's doing less than Chie even when critting. It's because of, that Chie had ambush arts. Sorry about this, Mitsuru, but you're over-leveled, and I like to see big numbers. So, you're gonna have to explode yourself here. No, she survived the Shura Tensei, nice. Oh, we haven't seen this one before. Yeah, that one's okay. And it's probably dead now. There we go. Wait, that one unlocks after the Mr. Bear screening. And that's in, like, that's the weakest, like, well, the weakest FOE that's not the spotter, in a dungeon before. And, well, I mean, to be fair, Mr. Bear is the weakest FOE in the 4th dungeon, but it's still an enormous step up. Like, that's a weird thing to be unlocking, like, after the... Let your fist do the talking. But yes, the inner machinations of Elizabeth's mind are an enigma. Meanwhile, these two are tired when Mitsuru did all the work. And thus, a metaphor for their existence.
Good job.
Good job. Actually, Akihiko's whole plan was to have Mitsuru demonstrate that, because she was, you know, literally pushing her body to the point where it hurt itself, where it hurt herself. Don't do that, by the way, if you're doing physical training. Akihiko says, pushing your body to the limit to the point where you physically strain yourself to do 3,600 damage to an enemy is only okay when you're fictional, and you're inside a similar labyrinth, and it's Shura Tensei. This is actually kind of funny, because this is almost like, it kind of naturally flows on from the previous one. It's like Akihiko, like, again, he let it go to his head, and now he's trying to be the coach, but doing it all wrong. Yeah, Akihiko's like, oh yeah, Junpei's had it, this is over. I went silent there because out of context, race detective sounds really bad. Like, I know that it means races in a running race, but like, yeah, you could easily get the very wrong idea from that. Well, yeah, we already proved that when we fought all the FOEs in the dungeon, in the next dungeon. And so they're still running laps around the theater. The end. And they tripped over. And now Junpei and Kanji died. Yes, like Akihiko continues to fail to remember. You know, granted, it is nice to see a Junpei and Kanji interaction. That's not a combination that you see often. Yes, the strength to protect those you care about is the theme of this part. As is Shura Tensei plus stupidly large amounts of damage. It's gonna involve eating protein, isn't it? Or 1,000 squats, okay. I have never really heard much of the song Smells Like Teen Spirit, but apparently that really weird, terrible Peter Pan adaptation actually used that for, like, Captain Hook as, like, an actual villain song, and it was exactly as terrible as it sounds. Oh, from that we get the Wyvern Fang! I know who that lets you fuse! But okay, where are we at now? Two more special screenings. This even feels like a workout for me, so... But first, let's turn this in. Yes, this lets me make Voivre, which I can't pronounce correctly because it's French, but yes, French Wyvern, basically. And you know my history with Wyverns. But do you know my history with Wyvern waifus? Because, yeah, this is Voivre, and yeah, you want to complete that screening because Bind Arts Plus as a sacrifice skill. Very good to give to Akechi. So I should be able to make my way through two more special screenings to unlock the one that I'm really looking for. Also, the fact this was Red and Hunt should have clued me in. The title of this one isn't lying. You have to kill 2 Mr. Bears. Yeah, why? They must have been obsessed with that FOE specifically. They're like, we really, really want the player to fight that one a lot, and probably die. Let's not put this off much longer. This one's also pretty infamous, but for different reasons to the Mr. Bear one. Also, the Witch's Concert is a great item to have. There's no need to feel ashamed. Go on and speak your mind. Shout it out, sing it. Follow your passions, that's what they do in this movie, and you can too. So, this one is gonna be all about Marie. I love how she just cuts in here. Can you imagine her being cut in there? I'm taking over this quest now! Yeah, of all of the movies in here, this one's probably the most Marie-coded of them. I mean, it's about, like, you know, a young girl's search for identity, and it's a musical, and has a lot of, like, emotion and passion, and yeah, it definitely sounds very Marie. It is kind of interesting because even though Marie's whole, you know, writing edgy teenage poetry thing is sort of played for laughs, it is a very common thing that particularly a lot of high school girls do to explore themselves. It's one of the reasons why I actually do sort of, in some ways, regret the whole Mary Sue thing from Fire Emblem Awakening, because, like, a lot of the time, you know, your first self-insert character in a fanfiction is gonna come out a little weird, but, like, there's nothing really inherently wrong with it. Like, it's not like it actually is harmful to anything. At the same time, I do still find My Immortal incredibly hilarious. I was about to, like, wonder what pathos was in Japanese, and then I'm like, no, it's literally just pathos in katakana, from what I've heard. Yeah, Teddy and Marie seem to get along pretty well. Which is funny in the English dub because their voice actors are siblings. But I feel like they do relate in quite a few things. Like, it almost feels like Marie's one of the few girls Teddy doesn't perv on either. Okay, it's just you who's the motivated one for this. I have my party geared up for this, and I've also brought a few people who are only level 52, but this isn't a very fighting-heavy special screening. This one's more about going around and talking to NPCs. The downside is you don't know exactly where the NPCs are or which ones you need. It's one of them that a lot of people end up using a guide for, because there are hints, but they're fairly vague. Because there is a mark on the map for the first flower, but I think that is the only mark you get. You have to trust the flower's hints for the others. Does feel nice to have side quests within the Hikari Labyrinth now. And the only chests are in Act 2. Oh, that's actually just one of Marie's poems, isn't it? Unfortunately, Marie's poems aren't quite as funny when you don't have the voice acting, especially in Japanese, because I love hearing which of the words are random English. Huh. I guess only works. Or she just got lonely from it. Yeah, I actually do like how we get a little bit of you and Marie interactions. Like, I actually think the you and Marie ship is, like, fine. I think it's pretty good, actually. Like, and it does have the whole, well, I was about to say, well, I mean, I've been pretty fast and loose with spoilers, but, like, you know. Yeah, it does have the kind of Izanagi-Izanami connections. Look, I've said this before, but I am pretty pleasantly surprised that my Marie romance, like, the Marie one is what has one of the highest view counts of my Persona 4 romance route videos. Because, like, back when I was first getting into Persona fandom, everyone hated Marie. Like, Marie was possibly, at least in terms of vocal minority, in terms of what you saw on Persona social media, Marie was possibly the most hated Persona character, at least, like, visibly. Also, I should probably stop tangenting about Marie here, because you actually do have to pay careful attention to the dialogue here. And now, Marie figures it out. Build an army, trust nobody. Persona 5, Shadows, coming soon. And now you can all tell when I'm recording this video. Okay, honestly, like, I was half expecting her to say it's terrible and Teddy to just make a general Teddy-owned reaction. It's way funnier when she just says, and then the conversation just ends. Oh boy, of course there's a chest all the way up at the top. At least another chest is very close to us. We have barely even, like, scratched the surface. I don't think we've even walked, like, 40 steps yet. You know, I just realized why I feel like seeing you bonding with Marie feels kind of special here. It's because there's a silent protagonist in the original game. So you didn't really get much of an idea of how he actually, like, what his actual dynamic with Marie looked like, unless you saw the Golden anime, which I never did, or you just see his dialogue responses. I read that for a second as secret crush on popcorn. And considering the kinds of, like, considering that Teddy kind of flirts with everyone except kind of Marie, I can believe him having a crush on an inanimate object. Well, I mean, Teddy's hidden snacks did kind of save us in the test of power earlier. So yeah, there's a flower on each path. The flower to the right was singing a cheerful song, the flower to the left is singing a cryptic tune. Slight problem. I don't know whether he's saying my left, his left, the left that's on the map, the left when you're facing north on the map. Yeah. Given this screening is all about Marie, you're letting her decide is probably great. However, yeah. Right now, she's just in full inspiration mode. I do wonder how many writers can, like, relate. Because, again, like, I know it does feel a bit weird that a lot of Marie's, like, stuff is kind of played for comedy, and it's sort of not meant to be very good, but, like, so that might be a bit of a sore point to, like, writers, but, again, I do wonder how relatable she is to some. So, according to a guide I'm following, the flower that is down here is wrong, but I want to examine it because otherwise I'll miss the dialogue. Yeah, I think this is the happy flower. Yeah, I had a feeling that it would be the more angsty flower that was going to inspire her better. Was this before or after Source became like an internet thing? Yes, of course you would know what Source is like when talking about food because you were the one who actually made F-State canon. The one that will actually progress this special screening is next to the treasure spot down here, and I'm still not sure whether or not this is the left or the right flower there. Well, actually, I probably could figure it out by going back through my, oh, the log only tracks this conversation, I thought so. But yeah, it's definitely the one that was described as, you know, the less happy flower. Both of these are, probably good. I wonder if she'd get more inspiration from Poison Apple, though I was wrong the first time. Yeah, Forbidden Fruit was the right one. I kinda should've gone with my original gut instinct there. Not that, you know, it really matters. It's not like we're getting Social Links points with her or anything. Oh, wow, that was all flooding back to me. Like, I did love my Persona 4 playthrough. I will say, like, having to actually do, like, science to figure out how many points Marie needed for every rank up, because no website listed that. I actually had to make a whole bunch of saves and just do a bunch of testing just to kind of trial and error and sort of process of elimination figure out how many points she needed. Process of elimination, try and figure out how many points she needed for every rank up. Sorry, I don't want to talk over that glorious scream. Can we hear that again, actually? Seriously, Kana Hanazawa, props to you for your Marie performance. Now I want to hear how she handles Marie's more serious scenes, because I've never seen those in the Japanese dub. Actually, wait, hang on, I should probably watch the Golden animation if I want to see that, because that doesn't have an English dub. Just like this game. But yeah, like back then, the Golden animation was, like, really derided as well, because, like, they're like, oh, why does Persona 4 get another anime? They're milking Persona 4. See, this is why I'm, like, kind of... A lot of the whole they're milking Persona 5 arguments, they kind of go over my head because, like, Persona 4, I was in the fandom during peak Persona 4 milking. Like, everybody was complaining about how much they milked Persona 4. So it's really just, like, anytime a new Persona game comes out, Atlas milks it. So yeah, we need to go north for this last flower, and there are going to be FOEs in our way. And I have to go all the way up here for this anyway. And you need to go here anyway, because the flower, as you might suspect, is all the way in this part of the map, behind that lift, which we can now get to via this shortcut. Let's not bother with him today. We'll have to bother with him later on. Two of him, specifically. Yeah, it should be this flower. Be careful, Flower, you might get copyright claimed by Square Enix / Disney for that. Yeah, they're very notorious with copyright claims on, like, Kingdom Hearts opening songs. This sounds kind of like Marie's dungeon in Persona 4. Yeah, I am like 3 for 3 in failing to grasp Marie's poetry logic. I mean, I'm sure Joker enjoys this because 7 Deadly Sins, you know, he has dealt with those kind of themes before. Also, another amazing scream there. Yeah, I'm surprised that Yusuke and Marie don't interact as much. Like, that's actually kind of the thing. So, like, Marie doesn't really do a whole lot in Q2, in Q1 as well, and some people wonder if that was a response to the Marie backlash, though I heard that the Marie backlash was more of a Western thing, that she was more popular in Japan, but again, I'm not 100% sure on that. A lot of the time when people say something's more popular in Japan, they usually haven't actually asked Japanese fans and found out their opinions. Because, like, it was, like, to me, it was kind of enlightening when I looked at the Japanese forum and found out they had the exact same criticisms of Shido that Western fans did. So, we actually get a few rewards from this one. And also, honestly, if you know where to go, this one's really not that bad. It was TV tropes that describe this one as being awkward, but, like, actually, if you pay attention to the dialogue, you'll know where the flowers... I guess the issue is that, like, the game doesn't mark which flowers you have to check, and if you're, like, pointing the camera at the wall for too short a time, you might not notice the A button prompt, so I can see people missing, like, which flower they have to talk to, but as long as you remember that you should just point the camera at any flowers you see just to see if there's an A button prompt, because if you just talk to all of the flowers, you will finish this screening, like, regardless. And there's only, like, 3 of them you have to talk to and 1 that's optional. Also, wow. Wow. Futaba is like, hello, I know that you're an anime trope. But yeah, with the Pathos Recorder, you can actually listen to Marie's poems at any time you want. I would not like to hear what Akechi's emo poetry sounds like. And she's gone. I get the feeling there will be a new one the next time we go to the Velvet Room. Okay, Ken leveling up out of that is nice. Oh, I do that a lot, but, oh boy. Boost amp nucleo strike link plus full throttle. Now she doesn't learn any, like, link boosting skills naturally, so you'll need to have, like, quadruple, infinite link, etc. on a sub-persona, but... See, I would say that I don't use this much, but I actually do sometimes. In a way, if I want this, I have Orb of Resolve. It's still nice to have that on hand, though. I suppose I can get rid of this. I don't want to have, you know, Nucleo Strike Link as my only option for a nuke skill. And I don't want that. I'd rather have a magic nuke skill on her. Yeah, so we go into our inventory. Which Pathos should I feel? And yeah, it shows there's still 1 more left. But gameplay-wise, the real reward is the Witch's Concert, which lets you buy the Attract Horn, which greatly raises random encounter rate, really good for grinding, and the Repulse Horn, which completely removes random encounters. It might not be a bad idea to pick up a few of those, just in case you're low on health and you really just want to finish off a dungeon exploration for 100% of, like, a floor. It's actually pretty cheap, too. Like, I'm honestly really surprised. I mean, it doesn't come until very late in the game as a side quest reward, but I'm honestly kind of surprised they let you buy an item that totally eliminates random encounters. But okay, we may as well listen to the finished product.
Marie ですか? 彼女ならマーガレットのお使いで。
The 7 Deadly Sins.
Yes.
エンジェルは落ちた。7つの罪に溺れて。第一の罪はグルトニー。甘い罪のフルーツを貪って。第二の罪はスロース。信頼は聖域。誰にも犯せない。第三の罪はグリード。靴もカバンも飽きたら捨てるの。第四の罪はジェラシー。あなたと喋るあの子が嫌い。第五の罪はウロース。この気持ち早く気づいてよ。第六の罪はプライド。でもあなたの前だと天使の顔。第七の罪はルースト。だって私は恋に落ちたロンリールシファー。
Okay. I knew that was coming, but the way she reads that out. And incoming scream. I am sure she has so much fun making all of these screams very slightly different.
なんでほんとありえない。これ出来たてのほやほやなのに。っていうかなんですっと読んじゃうの。それがユウのデッドリーシーン。
そのくらいにしておきなさい。天使の顔が台無しよ。ロンリー・ルシフェル。
だってロンリールシフェル。
And she has to say it the same way even in normal dialogue.
とにかくバカ嫌い最低。恋に落ちちゃえ立石メガネ。もう私のパトス盗まないで。
Yeah, it is Patosu.
なんでもないから。
囚人、ちょっといいですか。マリーのポエムのことなんだが、実は見てしまったんだ。いいから聞け。あの便箋だが、あれをいつも置いていたのは。
あら、どうしたの？秘密のお話かしら。
Oh boy. Just a warning to you guys, Margaret is pretty stoic most of the time, but she's also incredibly scary when she actually gets angry. If you're thinking of snitching on her, you might want to make sure that she is a billion kilometers away when you do that.
気にしなくていいわ。続けてちょうだい。
いや、なんでもない。なんでもないんだ。なあ、ジャスティーヌ。ええ。囚人、今の話は忘れろ。いいな。
Yeah, it will be later when we get horribly killed by Margaret.
本当に可愛らしい子たち。これからも彼女たちをよろしくお願いね。
Okay, one more. And I should probably do this one because it's a Persona Q staple. I was thinking about doing this in like a sort of one of those sort of more cutesy voices, and then I was like, no, let's do the exact opposite. Do you know the butterfly secret? They will lure you to sleep with their colour, their dances, and their grace. Beware, lest they stop your magic! That was my attempt at the Australian crazy warehouse sale guy. Yeah, butterflies. It's almost like they are a recurring metaphor in the entire franchise. Oh yeah, there were actually a lot of them in that one. Lunker? You're sending us after the bog beast butterfly! That is still one of my favourite Magic School Bus episodes. Oh no, don't say protein or suddenly Akihiko will be like, what? I could have been eating butterflies this whole time? I mean, there are a lot of, like a lot of insects that are actually healthy to eat. And are apparently good for you. Oh. I shouldn't have even joked about it. Because it happened. Because this is a Persona spin-off with Akihiko in it. However, Haru, hikuniku janai. That is like it's a line that Tails says in one of it's the Knuckles episode of Sonic X, and that was a meme to me even before I got Sonic brain rotted. Only to me, though. Okay, there will be fighting here, and these things are weak to ice. But all my ice users are over-leveled, so actually, you're kind of low-level. I was looking for who had the most luck to give Mara to, and oh boy, wow, Teddy. I love how much they buff Teddy in this game. I'm actually using, this is like my first time I've used an all-magic party, I just realized. There's also only 2 chests here, and one's on Act 1, the other is on Act 2. Most of the special screenings here have been on the first floors of Hikari, but we will be getting one that deals with floors 5 and 6 eventually. Oh, I feel like Yukiko hasn't actually been in a special screening for a while. Oh, well good. We're alive. Oh, great, that immediately made me think of... You're alive. Get to the next stage. It's just that really terrible edgy bomber man. Yeah, Lunka usually means, like, really big fish. I guess the kids these days would call it a big chungus butterfly. I forgot that there was a weird cartoon eye butterfly in this screening. Yes, an aura of resplendent, something. It's certainly resplendent in some way, but yeah. Then granted, the Bulk Beast Butterfly from Magic School Bus did have gigantic eye spots, but, like, this is a little too literal. And it went up. Interesting. Yeah, it's probably somewhere around here. First chest is here, right past the FOE. Yep, there it is, Mr. Creepy Butterfly. This is a cool way to make use of the stage lifts, though. I actually saw a butterfly while on a walk recently, managed to get a decent photo of it without scaring it away. Wait, there are corrosion skills in this game? Okay, it really says something that I didn't know they were in this game, because the enemies use them so rarely. Huh, unless it's only the special screening variants that have them, because now also said the enemies look strong, which would mean that these are higher level versions of the enemies from this dungeon. Because, like, if we were fighting the actual things from Dungeon 4, she would say they're about equal or weaker. There's no way they're above our level, but, yeah, if that, like, pod always had elect corrosion, I must have got very lucky that it's never used it at all so far. I guess that might be another compensation for complaints about Q1. The corrosion skills were incredibly dangerous in that game, and I guess limiting them, or... yeah, the other chest is here, by the way. Or just, you know, putting them later in the game makes them more manageable. Yeah, the butterfly is all the way in here, and you'll need to have the stage lifts configured right to get to it. Time to pay for the crime of running away and just wanting to live. I do like how the way that film looks against the, vine door. But yes, nobody... Oh, that's a nice image. But yeah, nobody tried the being nice method. Also, it looks like those were actually eye spots, because this looks just like a normal butterfly. Or, you know, she was the only one person here who tried being nice to the butterfly. Oh boy, yeah. Unfortunately, we've got bad memories of Destiny Land. Yeah, that's happened in the P5 storyline at this point. I doubt any of the Phantom Thieves are going to want to go to Destiny Land ever again. Destiny Land would actually make a pretty nice racetrack for, like, a Sonic Racing Cross Worlds Persona crossover, though. I'm sorry, I'm a little obsessed if you can't tell. Why don't we take a break here and have a nice picnic? I'm sure nothing whatsoever will go wrong at all. The fact that I alluded to there being a fight in this special screening is in no way related to my decision to head back here. Oh, unfortunately, we've been overruled. But, to our sadness, it was Evil Butterfly. Oh, wow, is that the one time so far we've got a text box on, like, the battle transition? We have two fickle Papillons to face off against here, and they have 81 magic. And they're only weak to ice, elementally. They are vulnerable to confusion and poison, and hex. And, oh wow, rare thing in this game that resists agility bind. It's only 20% effectiveness on it. Magic bind is totally, effective though. Strength bind they're very resistant to. Now, I put the Dragon Bracer on him because Dragon Cry does affect magic, just like physical. And that is why they're very resistant to Strength Bind. They like to use ailment-inducing physical attacks. There's the Lethargy Circle. With the massive Agility Bind resistance, I doubt it's really going to do much, but, Pulimpa from Ailment Boost Mara would be more effective, I think. Yeah, Teddy's voice clips go on for a long time, which means he often talks over other people. And let's see what I get from this. Oh, got all three of them, nice! Sadly, I don't get a triple Massacre Slash from that. I do have an ailment curing... Yeah, I have Purifying Rain, which I might be able to use here. The Codex Astartes calls this maneuver Purifying Rain. Ooh. They were just barely faster than Yukari. I lost 2 turns worth of buff work. They are, like, vulnerable to all-out attacks, though. So I probably didn't even need to buff up. Like a lot of special screening enemies, though, they have a lot of health. You know what? For once, I'm going to try out Hex. Because both of these are going to have the same boost from Guillotine Blade. I think that's one of the few times I've heard, like, a specific ailment comment from somebody in this game. Because in the original queue, everyone had their own unique comments for, like, every ailment, and in this game, a lot of characters in Japanese just say, oh, they're not doing well, better heal it. Just kind of generic reaction to all ailments. But Teddy at least has a special reaction to poison. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for normal attacks with you and not even waste time buffing. Yeah, I think we should be able to get an all-out attack finisher here. And finally, a use for Arn's ailment cure. Yeah, either one of these two will probably... Yeah, that should be a finisher. I really hope it is. Oh, no! Okay. I mean, this doesn't do a massive amount of damage, so maybe it won't die to that. Okay, it didn't die. Good. We do get the all-out finisher, because I will expect these are worth a lot of experience. So we'll definitely want to reap that. I like how his MP3 player is kind of cutting off Teddy getting owned there. Yeah, I thought so. Nice amount of level ups all around. Once again, Teddy learns this. Yusuke doesn't. Logic. I don't care. Oh, I am really gonna... No, actually, I'll probably get rid of Line Guard once Ice Ant comes in. Oh, speaking of which, holy crap, yeah, all of these are pretty good. Yeah, I guess I can... I guess, like, Windamp, like, I guess I never really got to use Null Embine, but I mean, it was nice to have just in case. Paths of Light, moderately restoring... Oh yeah, the rest of your skills are all Navigator, so might as well take that one. And then... Okay, that's actually a good thing to have as a sacrifice skill, because then you can put it on all the Navigators, who are going to have free skill slots anyway, because I don't think any of them learn, like, a full moveset. I'm not exactly sure how a butterfly would turn somebody into fertilizer. Obvious ambush was obvious. Yeah, now we get out of there. We'll have time for picnics later. But best not to have picnics in Butterfly Deathland. I do actually kind of like those enemies from a design standpoint, like how they sort of like to spam poison on you. It's also funny, in spite of their insane resistance to Strength Bind, I managed to, like, Strength Bind both of them. Which says more about just how ridiculous Bind Arts Plus is. Yeah, nice to have a little bit of focus on Yukari and Hikari, but at the same time, they really didn't actually interact in a particularly meaningful way, so... Yeah, I mean, I actually kind of like that one from a gameplay standpoint, but not so much from a narrative standpoint. Also, yeah, that one just ended pretty abruptly. So, Light Meal Recipe Z gives us... They turned him into a marketable race car. But was he ready for them to turn him into a marketable chili dog? And given how I split these up, I've probably done 3 special screens in this part. That should be enough. Next time, we will be getting our ultimate personas. Just in time for the second half of the final dungeon. See you all then.